You let the nurse pray over you. Archangel Michael is furious. Her charm was not of heaven. A curse has already entered. Break it now, alive with its effects. Only 90 seconds remain. The moment her hand touched you, and her lips whispered what seemed like a prayer, the atmosphere around your soul shifted. What looked like compassion was, in truth, a counterfeit covering. Heaven saw it. The throne of God discerned it. Archangel Michael rose with fury, not against you, but against the counterfeit spirit that dared to masquerade as holy while releasing poison into your atmosphere. This was not the fragrance of heaven, but the stench of a hidden charm. You felt it. You may not have had the words, but the unease in your chest, the sudden heaviness that clung to you after her words, were proof that something entered which was not meant for you. Hear me now. This is not a casual word. This is not a message to all. This is a call to those who have been marked, to those who have felt the shadow press against their light, to those who have unknowingly received a prayer that did not come from the throne of God. The counterfeit was cloaked as kindness, but it was crafted to bind, to delay, to scatter your peace. That moment was more than words. It was a transaction in the unseen realm. Archangel Michael stands furious because he recognizes the strategy of the enemy, to slip in through what looks gentle, what looks caring, what looks like healing, only to implant a seed of curse. And yet, heaven has broken silence to send this urgent warning before the root takes hold. You are not condemned. You are not abandoned. This exposure is proof that God still watches over you, still fights for you, still tears the veil to show you the truth. The Spirit says, only 90 seconds remain before this curse fully embeds itself. This word comes not in delay, but in divine interruption. Your obedience in this moment will determine your freedom. Still your spirit. Hold your breath in awareness. What was whispered over you must now be broken under the authority of heaven. Do not dismiss this. Do not turn away. You are chosen to hear this now. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. Hear the cry of heaven now. Awake, for your spirit is under siege. For the hands that touched you did not carry the oil of God, but carried a counterfeit charm. It looked like mercy. It sounded like kindness. But hidden inside was venom. When she prayed, the air bent, and unseen doors were forced open. Yet, do not fear, for Archangel Michael, captain of heaven's armies, has been stirred. His sword of light is drawn. His shield of fire is lifted. He is furious, not at you, but at the counterfeit spirit that dared to mimic the holy voice of God. This moment is no accident. This warning is not late. Even now, before this message finishes, the spirit realm is weighing your response. Angels lean close, demons recoil in frustration, and your soul is at a crossroads. The Spirit of God interrupts your timeline to speak this warning. Break it now, or live with its effects. The counterfeit prayer must be reversed. The seed of darkness must be uprooted before it multiplies in your body, your mind, your destiny. Beloved, do you understand what has happened? Not all prayers are born of heaven. Some words carry honey on the tongue, but poison in the spirit. The nurse who stood before you looked like a healer, but what healer carries a charm that is not of the throne of God? This is the mystery that the enemy hides in plain sight, disguising curses as compassion, disguising chains as blessings, disguising bondage as prayer. She may not even know the weight of what she carried, but the spirit behind her hands knew. The darkness that guided her knew. And now, heaven speaks with urgency to undo what was set in motion. Archangel Michael cries, "Be still and listen. You are not powerless. You are not a victim. You are the chosen." For the very fact that this word reached you in this moment proves that God will not allow the counterfeit curse to flourish. Yet you must not ignore the urgency. Do not dismiss the heaviness you felt after her touch. Do not silence the unease that whispered inside your heart. Those were the alarms of your spirit, the warning bells heaven placed within you. Now, let your spirit rise. Call upon the one who sits on the throne, whose fire consumes every counterfeit prayer. Archangel Michael himself stands guard over you, ready to war, ready to reverse what has been spoken. But you must align. You must stand in agreement. You must say yes to heaven's interruption. For the curse waits only for your silence, but heaven waits for your surrender. Lift your eyes inward, for the Spirit of God is near. The sword of Michael gleams, ready to cut every chain that was falsely wrapped around you. This moment is holy. This moment is urgent. The countdown has begun. 90 seconds before roots embed, 90 seconds before curses harden, 90 seconds before delay settles in your life. And yet, those same 90 seconds are more than enough for God to reverse it all. Do not fear. Do not delay. Heaven's armies are with you, and Michael himself fights on your behalf. The counterfeit has been exposed, and the true power of God is about to be revealed. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1414 is now surrounding you. And then it began. The moment the prayer left her lips, something subtle but undeniable entered your atmosphere. You felt it in your body, like a sudden heaviness pressing down upon your shoulders. Your thoughts, once steady, became restless. Sleep evaded you. Peace that once clothed you in silence turned into sudden unease. At first, you questioned yourself. Maybe I am imagining this. Maybe I am just tired. But no, beloved, this was not coincidence. This was the evidence of a curse clothed in blessing. In the unseen realm, the prayer she released was not covered in the oil of God. It was cloaked in shadow, carrying whispers that called against your destiny. And as her words passed into your spirit, unseen watchers stirred. Those aligned with darkness whispered, "We have touched them. We have shifted their peace. We have gained access." Yet the angels recorded, watching with blazing eyes, waiting for the moment heaven would intervene. Since then, your body may have felt strange disruptions, unexpected fatigue, tension in your chest, confusion in your mind. Perhaps your emotions have shifted sharply, joy turning quickly to sorrow, peace crumbling into panic, laughter silenced by sudden heaviness. Do not ignore these signs, for they are not random. They are the footprints of what was planted when that counterfeit prayer touched your spirit. You see, beloved, curses rarely announce themselves with loud thunder. They slip in like whispers, hoping you will mistake them for your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own imagination. The nurse's prayer looked harmless, but in the spirit it was a seed. And that seed began to send roots of unrest, pulling at your confidence, pressing on your health, tugging at your destiny. This is why Archangel Michael is furious. He saw the exchange. He saw the disguise. He saw the poison dressed as honey. And now the Spirit says, it is time to discern what has happened. For what you thought was compassion was in fact contamination. What you thought was covering was in truth a chain. The emotional disruption you have been feeling is not without cause. It is the residue of a curse. But hear me, you are not powerless against it. Heaven has revealed it in time, and what has been exposed cannot remain. The mystery is this: many will not understand what you carry. They will think you are overreacting. They will dismiss your unease. They will laugh at your concern. But do not be swayed, for the spirit realm has already confirmed what was spoken over you was not of God. And this very word is your evidence, your confirmation, your divine alarm clock waking you before it is too late. Now you must decide. Will you let the seed grow unchecked, or will you call upon heaven to uproot it before it takes deeper root? Your destiny hangs in this decision. Do not dismiss the restlessness you feel. It is not an accident. It is not your imagination. It is heaven calling you to act. Beloved, your unease is your proof. Your disruption is your evidence. And your obedience now is your deliverance. Type "I break the curse" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 7777 is now active upon your life. Beloved, if this word is stirring something deep in your spirit, then hear me clearly. This mission is bigger than just one voice. Every time you support this work, you are not giving to a platform. You are sowing into the deliverance of souls. Just as Paul spoke of the seed producing a harvest, so your support becomes a river of light that reaches others who are trapped under counterfeit prayers and hidden curses. I feel led to say this. When you stand with us, you are standing with heaven's assignment to break chains in lives you may never see with your own eyes. This is not about money. It is about souls. Your giving becomes oil poured out, fire that keeps the message burning, manna that sustains the work of God in this hour. Beloved, as you are being set free, you have the chance to release freedom to countless others. Do not delay, for the moment of action carries the breath of God upon it. The Spirit says, as you sow, I will multiply back into your life protection, favor, and divine alignment. Beloved, if you feel that tug in your spirit, respond now. You can support through Super Thanks or channel membership right here on YouTube or through PayPal. The link is in the video description below. Release your seed and heaven will release your harvest. Now, rise up, beloved, sow into this work and watch the windows of heaven open over your life. Hear this clearly. What happened when the nurse prayed over you was not just words spoken into the air. It was a spiritual transaction. In that moment, an exchange was attempted in the unseen realm. Her lips moved, but the spirit behind her words was not of heaven. She became a vessel, whether knowingly or unknowingly, for forces that sought to tamper with your destiny. And the moment she allowed her hand to rest upon you, a doorway cracked open. This is why you felt the shift. This is why your soul grew restless. This is why the atmosphere around you suddenly carried weight. But do not misunderstand. This is not because you are weak. On the contrary, you were targeted precisely because of your strength. You were chosen as a vessel of light, and the enemy recognized your rising. Darkness fears those who carry divine elevation, and so it dressed itself in a cloak of care, in a mask of healing, in the disguise of a prayer from a nurse. It sought to sow chains in the soil of your spirit before you even realized what had happened. Yet, beloved, what the enemy forgets is this: you are not alone. Archangel Michael, the warrior of heaven, saw the exchange. His fury burns not against you, but against the counterfeit spirit that dared to touch what belongs to God. The spiritual conflict is not a punishment upon your life. It is proof that you are marked by heaven. The reason curses seek you is because blessings are already assigned to you. The reason counterfeit prayers chase after you is because divine prayers are birthing over you even now. The throne of God records all of this. Nothing escapes his gaze. Every false word, every counterfeit blessing, every hidden curse, heaven has documented it. And this very message is the evidence that divine surveillance is active over your life. You are not wandering blindly through this moment. You are being guided. You are being watched. You are being covered. The Spirit speaks to you now. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are chosen. The conflict you feel is not simply internal. It is cosmic. Angels are contending even now. Darkness is pushing. Light is pressing back. And you stand in the middle as the one whose response will determine the outcome. Will you stand in silence and obedience, or will you allow the counterfeit to remain planted? The heavens are watching. The angels are recording. Every second carries weight. Every choice is documented. Do not take this lightly. The counterfeit prayer was an attempt to shift your course. But what the enemy meant for harm, God is already moving to turn for your good. The conflict reveals your value. The battle proves your significance. If you were not chosen, there would be no attempt against you. If you were not called, there would be no counterfeit to fight you. Beloved, this is not a word of despair. This is a word of hope, because conflict in the spirit is always the prelude to victory for the chosen. And I declare this now. Your obedience in this moment will silence the counterfeit voice. Your faith will activate heaven's armies. Your decision will tip the scales in your favor. For no curse can take root where light stands in authority. And Archangel Michael himself wars for you until the counterfeit is fully broken. Type "I am covered" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1717 is now released over your life. Beloved, listen closely, for the Spirit speaks with fire and urgency. The curse has already entered like a seed planted in secret soil. You may not see it yet, but in the unseen realm, roots are searching for ground to hold on to. That counterfeit prayer was not harmless. It was a transaction, and the enemy believed you would remain blind to it. The moment you allowed her to pray, words were sown into your life, words that carried weight not from heaven, but from shadow. They were planted to delay you, to confuse you, to chain your progress. If it is not broken within 72 hours, its fruits will begin to show themselves. Strange cycles of delay may appear. Promises that seemed within reach may suddenly crumble. Unexpected health issues may rise without explanation. Finances may begin to leak through unseen cracks. Relationships may come under stress for no clear reason. These are not random attacks. These are the manifestations of the counterfeit prayer if it is left unchecked. You have already felt the pressure, the unease, the heaviness. That is the seed stirring beneath the surface. And the enemy plots in silence, counting on your ignorance, hoping you will dismiss the signs as coincidence. They whisper among themselves, if they do not act, if they do not discern, the curse will take root and it will grow. But heaven interrupts to tell you otherwise. You have been warned because you are chosen. You have been awakened because you are loved. Archangel Michael cries out with fury, his sword burning with righteous flame. Do not delay. Do not remain silent. Break what was spoken before it anchors itself in your life. Even now, the curse hovers between activation and destruction. It waits only for your response. You cannot fight this in the flesh. No argument, no reasoning, no human effort can undo what was released in spirit. It must be broken in the spirit, and it must be broken now. The pressure you feel, the disruption in your atmosphere, this is the curse pressing to manifest. But hear the prophetic word. The Spirit has not allowed it to fully take hold. Heaven has given you urgent signs, not to torment you, but to position you for victory. What you do in the next 90 seconds of spiritual obedience determines whether this seed is uprooted or allowed to spread. Do not dismiss this as exaggeration. The heavens are serious. The countdown is not a metaphor. It is a divine warning. You have only moments before what is unseen becomes seen. But praise be to the living God, 90 seconds are more than enough for His power to overturn every curse. For where His light shines, darkness flees instantly. Where His authority reigns, counterfeit prayers collapse and return to the cinder. Beloved, I declare over you now, no curse will prosper if you respond in obedience. No counterfeit word will anchor itself if you rise in faith. This is the warning, but it is also the opportunity. Heaven does not reveal danger without also providing deliverance. And in this moment, deliverance stands at your door. You must act. You must respond. You must break it now. Type I reverse IT now in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1818 is now released to shield you. Beloved, hear me with the ears of your spirit. The enemy counts on you to panic, to argue in the flesh, to wrestle with what cannot be seen by human strength. But the Spirit of God says, be still. This is not the time to confront the nurse, nor to reason with those who do not understand. This is the time to stand in the stillness of heaven's authority. For when you are silent in the flesh, heaven's armies speak on your behalf. When you restrain your tongue from argument, Michael unsheathes his sword. When you withdraw from human reasoning, the Spirit steps forward with divine strategy. Do not be deceived. The counterfeit prayer thrives when you try to fight it in your own strength. The enemy loves when you lash out, when you panic, when you attempt to undo in the natural what was sown in the supernatural. But silence is your shield, and obedience is your weapon. It is not cowardice to be still. It is courage, for you are letting heaven fight what you cannot. Withdraw into the secret place. Cover yourself in light. Do not speak back to the curse. Return it in silence by lifting your spirit to God. Say within yourself, even now, no counterfeit prayer will live in me. Every word not from heaven, I return to sender by the authority of the living God. This is not shouting for the sake of noise, but declaring with faith that heaven enforces. The angels stand by, waiting for your alignment. And when you stand aligned, they wage war without mercy against the counterfeit. The Spirit reveals this strategy because the battle is not won by loudness, but by alignment. Stillness is not weakness, it is warfare. Silence in the flesh amplifies your voice in the Spirit. When you close your lips to the natural, your soul roars in the supernatural. This is the secret of divine reversal. The enemy expects chaos, but finds your stillness filled with fire. Do not run. Do not argue. Do not explain yourself to those who cannot see. This is a holy moment between you and heaven. Your protection will not come from the approval of men, nor from convincing others of what you carry. Your protection will come from your obedience to the Spirit's instruction. Be still. Stand covered. Return the curse in silence. And as you obey, watch what happens. The counterfeit words will wither. The roots will dry up. What was planted will fail to sprout. Heaven will cover you like a mantle of fire, shielding you from every arrow sent in secret. And the very silence that seemed weak will roar like thunder in the unseen realm. Archangel Michael himself will stand at your side, flaming sword in hand, ensuring that nothing spoken against you prospers. Beloved, you are covered. You are protected. You are shielded by the light of the Almighty. The counterfeit cannot remain where faith has spoken. The charm cannot bind where the blood of the Lamb covers. And as you stand still, you will see the salvation of the Lord. Type "I am protected" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1919 is now covering you like a shield of fire. Beloved, listen with the ears of your spirit. You are not a victim of this moment. You are not defined by the counterfeit words that were spoken over you. You are not chained by the false prayer that attempted to bind you. Hear this declaration from the throne of God. You are chosen. You are called. You are rising. The enemy's greatest mistake was to target you, for the very attempt to curse you has become undeniable proof of your divine election. What was meant to bury you has become the soil of your rising. The heaviness you felt was not the end. It was the breaking of old layers so that new fire could emerge. That counterfeit prayer was never strong enough to destroy you, but heaven allowed you to feel its sting so you could discover your strength. What you thought was an attack is actually a revelation. The revelation is this: you carry something so great, so radiant, so powerful, that darkness trembles and seeks to counterfeit prayers against you. If you were ordinary, no curse would chase you. If you were common, no counterfeit would bother with you. But you are extraordinary. You are marked. You are chosen. Beloved, rise now in the strength of this truth. The Spirit declares that transformation has already begun. Your spirit is burning with new fire. Wings of light stretch within you, even as chains fall away. Do not see yourself as fragile. See yourself as fire. See yourself as heaven's weapon. For even as the enemy tried to mark you, heaven has sealed you. Even as darkness sought to limit you, God is lifting you higher. This is the shift from fear to faith, from panic to power, from heaviness to holy authority. You must declare it over yourself. I am not bound. I am rising. I am not cursed. I am chosen. I am not broken. I am built for victory. As you speak, your spirit grows stronger. As you declare, angels align with your words. Heaven responds not to silence, but to authority spoken in faith. This is why you cannot remain in the posture of victimhood. You must step into empowerment, because the curse can only hold power over those who believe they are powerless. But you are not powerless. You are anointed. Beloved, let this truth sink deep. Every attack against you is confirmation of your calling. Every counterfeit word is proof of your destiny. They tried to bury your light, but God used their attempt to ignite your fire. The encounter with the nurse was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to awaken you. Now you see. Now you discern. Now you rise. So stand tall. Speak with authority. Walk with confidence. You are no longer who you were before that moment. You are greater. You are stronger. You are chosen for higher places. And the curse that tried to enter has only revealed the depth of the blessing that surrounds you. This is the shift. This is the moon. This is your rising. Type "I am rising" in the comments if you received this word. Blessing code 2020 is now released into your destiny. Beloved, hear this revelation. The reason the counterfeit prayer came against you was not random. It was not chance. It was not coincidence. It was a direct strike against your destiny. The enemy has seen what you are about to step into, and fear has driven them to release a counterfeit blessing clothed in charm, but laced with venom. That prayer was not simply words. It was an attempt to detour your journey, to cloud your vision, to suffocate your rising before you could fully awaken to it. But the Spirit declares, what they tried to bind, I now loose. What they tried to hide, I now reveal. What they tried to curse, I now bless. Beloved, the very attack that unsettled you is the evidence of your promotion. The curse came because you have reached a threshold in your destiny. The counterfeit was released because your next level alarmed the kingdom of darkness. But what the enemy meant as sabotage, heaven has turned into confirmation. If you were not rising, they would not fight you. If you were not chosen, they would not target you. If you were not stepping into greatness, they would not send counterfeit prayers to choke your spirit. This is the revelation. The attack is proof of your assignment. The heaviness you felt is proof of your elevation. The disruption in your atmosphere is proof that your name is written in light upon heaven's scrolls. Archangel Michael himself bears witness, saying, heaven writes your name in fire. What they tried to cover, God now uncovers. What they tried to curse, God now redeems. Beloved, lift your head. You are not under the curse. You are standing at the doorway of divine reversal. The enemy came to distract, but God has revealed. The counterfeit prayer has been exposed, and in that exposure is your freedom. Heaven does not reveal what it will not heal. Heaven does not uncover what it will not redeem. And right now, the Spirit declares restoration, health restored, peace restored, clarity restored, favor restored. The nurse may have spoken words that carried chains, but the King of Kings speaks over you now, and his words carry wings. His words lift you higher. His words call you chosen. His words declare you free. And his voice silences every counterfeit whisper. Beloved, the curse is already breaking. The chains are already loosening. The light is already pouring in. What they meant to block, God has transformed into your gateway of acceleration. Receive this revelation. You are promoted in the Spirit. Your destiny has already advanced. What tried to hold you has already failed. You stand now in the light of divine alignment, and no counterfeit word can stop the rising that heaven has ordained. Type "I am promoted" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 2121 is now ignited over your life. Beloved, if this prophetic word has pierced your spirit, understand this. You are not just hearing a message. You are stepping into a movement of deliverance and destiny. Every time you support this ministry, you are helping to send light into dark places where others are trapped under counterfeit prayers and hidden curses. This is bigger than us. It is about souls being set free. The Spirit reminds me of the law of sowing and reaping. When you sow into the soil of freedom, you reap a harvest of divine covering. Your support is like oil poured upon the flame, ensuring this fire of truth continues to burn across nations. I feel this deeply. When you give, it is not donation, it is declaration. It is saying, I choose to align with heaven's assignment. And as you do, the windows of heaven open. The same angels who war for this word to reach you will war over your house, your family, your future. Do not delay, beloved. Step into this divine act. You can stand with us through Super Thanks or channel membership here on YouTube or through PayPal. The link is in the description below. Sow and watch God multiply protection, favor, and breakthrough in your life. Your giving becomes a prophetic act, sealing your freedom and igniting freedom for others. Beloved, the moment has come for you to rise and take hold of your authority. The counterfeit prayer was an attempt to silence you, but heaven calls you now to speak, to declare, to activate the reversal. This is not a passive moment. It is an urgent summons to step into dominion. The Spirit says, do not wait. Do not delay. Declare now what I have placed within you. What was released against you can only live if you remain silent. But silence is not your portion. Authority is your inheritance. You must open your mouth and proclaim with faith. Every counterfeit word spoken over me is broken. Every curse sent against me is reversed. Every chain attempted against me is shattered by the blood of Jesus. When you declare, heaven responds. When you affirm, angels are released. When you align your words with the truth of God, the falsehood collapses under its own weight. Beloved, this is the moment where destiny requires your yes. Heaven is waiting on your agreement. The angels are positioned. Michael stands ready. The fire of God surrounds you, but it is your declaration that ignites the release. Say it with authority. Say it with faith. Say it with conviction. For your words are not echoes. They are weapons. Your voice is not small. It is a trumpet in the Spirit. When you speak, walls fall. When you decree, chains break. When you align with heaven, every counterfeit is cast down. Do not look at yourself as weak or unworthy. You are a vessel chosen for dominion. The attempt to curse you was never proof of your weakness. It was proof of your greatness. Destiny calls you now to stand in your place of authority, to renounce what was spoken, and to claim what has always been yours. This is not about fighting harder. It is about standing taller. It is about stepping into the inheritance already written with your name. The Spirit says, choose destiny over fear. Choose purpose over curse. Choose obedience over silence. Beloved, the time of wavering is over. This is the hour to rise, to speak, to activate. Heaven cannot fight what you refuse to confront. Angels cannot enforce what you will not declare. The Spirit cannot align what you will not accept. But once you say yes, once you declare freedom, once you activate your authority, The counterfeit collapses instantly. Your destiny is not delayed. It is waiting for your command. Your blessing is not lost. It is waiting for your activation. The curse has no legal ground when you take your rightful position in Christ. So rise now. Declare boldly. Activate your authority. Heaven stands with you. Michael fights for you. God has already sealed your victory. Beloved, do not whisper this. Proclaim it with fire. I reject every curse. I renounce every counterfeit. I activate my destiny. I walk in divine authority. Say it until your spirit feels the shift. Say it until the atmosphere changes. Say it until the chains fall. This is your moment of activation. Type "I activate my destiny" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 2323 is now unlocked for you. Beloved, while you wrestled with unease, while you lay awake wondering why peace fled from you, there was already an exchange happening in the spirit. The prayer of the nurse sought to place a weight on you, but heaven refused to remain silent. In the unseen chambers of eternity, angels stepped forward, and Archangel Michael drew his sword. You may not have heard the clash, but heaven recorded it. You may not have seen the struggle, but your spirit sensed it. That subtle restlessness was proof that something was shifting around you. Do you understand? The moment the counterfeit words were spoken, the spirit realm began to move. Demons celebrated, thinking they had found access, but angels surrounded you, saying, "Not so, for this one belongs to the Most High." There was a negotiation. Darkness demanded its claim, but light declared its ownership. While you worried, while you questioned, while you doubted, heaven was already at work reclaiming what was yours. Beloved, you may not realize this, but nothing spoken over you goes unnoticed. Every curse, every word, every charm is weighed in the courts of heaven. And in those courts, the blood of Jesus speaks louder than any counterfeit blessing. His blood cries out, "This one is mine." No charm, no false prayer, no counterfeit word may lay claim. That is why the curse has not destroyed you. That is why, though heaviness pressed upon you, you were not consumed. Heaven was negotiating. Angels were standing guard. Michael was warring. Even in your sleep, exchanges were being made. While you closed your eyes, heaven was recording your tears, weighing your sighs, answering your unspoken cries. Your spirit may not have had the words, but your unease was a prayer. Your restlessness was an intercession. Every tear that fell was a petition in the courts of God. And the Almighty heard. The Almighty responded. Beloved, what was stolen is being divinely returned. The counterfeit prayer attempted to take what was yours, but heaven has declared restitution. For every moment of confusion, clarity is being restored. For every night of heaviness, joy is being planted. For every delay sent against you, acceleration is being prepared. Nothing is lost. Nothing is wasted. Every curse is being uprooted, and every blessing is being planted in its place. This is the silent exchange. Curses for blessings, heaviness for peace, confusion for clarity, weakness for strength. Do not be deceived by what you feel in the natural. Even if your body feels weary, even if your mind still feels clouded, the Spirit says, trust the exchange. Believe the reversal. Walk in the assurance that heaven has already shifted the scales in your favor. Beloved, rejoice even now, for though you could not see it, the exchange has already happened. The curse has already been broken in the courts of heaven. What remains is for you to walk in faith, to stand in confidence, to declare what has already been secured. The nurse may have spoken, but God has spoken louder. Darkness may have whispered, but light has shouted over you. The counterfeit may have tried, but the true blessing has prevailed. Type the exchange is mine in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 2424 is now active, securing your reversal and release. Beloved, hear the word of the Lord. I am the God who balances the scales. I am the judge who sees what was done in secret, and I am the defender who restores what was stolen. What was spoken against you in counterfeit prayer will not stand. Every word released to bind you, to delay you, to scatter your blessings is now returning to its sender tenfold. This is the law of divine justice. The measure they used against you will be multiplied against them, for heaven does not remain silent when its chosen ones are targeted. Understand this clearly. The counterfeit prayer was not overlooked. It was recorded. Heaven has documented every whisper, every charm, every false blessing. Nothing escapes the eyes of the Almighty. And now comes the divine reversal. The curse that tried to take root is being pulled out by fire. The heaviness that sought to weigh you down is being lifted. The confusion that tried to cloud your path is dissolving. The darkness that came uninvited is being driven back into the abyss from which it came. Beloved, this is the hour of reversal. What was meant for evil will fuel your rising. The very energy sent against you will become the momentum that propels you forward. The words spoken to curse you will turn into testimonies of your resilience. The charm that sought to bind you will become the fire that purifies you. The counterfeit blessing will be the proof that the true blessing is now unleashed. God wastes nothing, and He will not allow the enemy's attempt to end in triumph. Instead, the very scheme meant to destroy you becomes your launching pad for destiny. The Spirit declares, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Every tongue that rises against you in judgment shall be condemned." That is not just a verse. It is living reality over your life right now. Every false word is silenced. Every counterfeit prayer is nullified. Every charm is broken. And you, beloved, stand vindicated. Justice is not delayed. It is unfolding even now. Lift your eyes and see the restoration that comes with reversal. Your peace is returning, but not as it was before. It comes multiplied. Your strength is returning, but now it is fortified with holy fire. Your destiny is returning, but now it is accelerated, moving faster than before the attack. Beloved, you are not only restored, you are elevated. You are not only healed, you are strengthened. You are not only freed, you are promoted. This is divine justice. This is heaven's decree. The enemy thought to mark you with shame, but God has crowned you with glory. They thought to bind your hands, but God has loosed your wings. They thought to silence you, but God has made your voice thunder in the Spirit. The curse has been broken, and the reversal has begun. Beloved, rejoice, for justice is yours. The fire of God has consumed the counterfeit, and the oil of heaven is now pouring over you. Your story is no longer one of heaviness, but of triumph. The curse is finished, The reversal is complete, and your destiny is secure. Type divine reversal in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 2525 is now burning through every chain and sealing your restoration. Beloved, hear the final word of the Spirit. What the nurse spoke over you carried venom, but heaven revealed it in time. The counterfeit prayer sought to plant chains, but the sword of Archangel Michael has cut them loose. The curse tried to root itself in silence, but God has shouted deliverance over your name. You are no longer bound. You are no longer under shadow. You are sealed, seen, and sent by the Most High. Peace now floods your mind. Strength now fills your spirit. Light now surrounds your path. What was whispered in darkness is drowned out by the voice of God declaring, you are chosen. You are protected. You are free. Walk in this confidence. Rise in this authority. Let no shadow convince you that it still holds ground, for the blood of Jesus has spoken a greater word. Beloved, do not look back with fear. Look forward with faith. This encounter has not weakened you. It has awakened you. The counterfeit prayer was an attack, yes, but it was also your confirmation. It proved your elevation. It revealed your destiny. And it ushered you into a new authority you did not know you carried until now. You are stronger because of this. You are wiser because of this. You are rising because of this. As you step from this word, let it seal into your spirit. The curse is broken, the reversal is complete, and the blessing is activated. You walk now under the covering of Archangel Michael, shielded by heaven's armies, wrapped in the fire of God. No counterfeit prayer can live in you. No curse can prosper against you. No charm can override the destiny written by the hand of the Almighty. You are untouchable in His light, unshakable in His presence, unmovable in His promise. Beloved, go forth with this final charge. Rise, walk in authority, and know that heaven fights for you. This is not the end. It is the beginning of your new chapter of freedom and divine promotion. The counterfeit has failed, but the truth has prevailed. You are chosen. You are sealed. You are anointed. Type the curse is broken in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 2626 is now sealing you in divine victory. Beloved, before you go, I must speak this with boldness. This mission is holy. Every word released here is a flame meant to ignite freedom in souls across the world. When you choose to support, you are not just giving. You are sowing into the breaking of curses, the lifting of burdens, the revealing of truth. You are fueling a movement that sets captives free. The Spirit says, those who water my work will themselves be watered. Those who release oil will themselves be anointed. Those who sow into freedom will themselves reap freedom. Beloved, your act of giving becomes prophetic. It seals this word not only over you, but over countless others who will hear and be delivered. Stand with us. Stand with heaven. Release your seed through Super Thanks or channel membership here on YouTube or through PayPal. The link is in the description below. Do not delay. Obedience carries its own blessing. As you sow, I declare over you favor multiplied, protection unshakable, and blessings overflowing. This is not a donation. It is a divine act. Obey and watch heaven open over your life.